Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
Okay, thanks. So Pete Binfield from PLOS and PLOS One, and I'm going to talk about our ArticleLevel Metrics program. I think one thing that is interesting about why this is important is that PLOS One, which is one of the journals I run, is probably, as you know, very, very big. So this year we're publishing 1 out of every 60 articles in the world in PLOS One, and next year it's going to be 1 out of every 30, something like that. So what we're doing with this program is being applied to a large and increasing corpus and a very visible one. So the ArticleLevel Metrics program at PLOS is basically, it's a program that tries to collect and present a wide range of metrics, and specifically it's doing usage, citations, social bookmarks, comments and notes, star ratings, and blog coverage at the moment. And we go out and we try and present that data on the article itself and also within our search functionality. And we've put the whole thing on an open platform, open source platform with an open API that allows us to use the same tool for other third-party content, and I'll show you some of that, and also allows other third parties to use the same tool for their content. So we effectively have 2 use cases, an author use case and a reader use case. So as an author, you want to measure and maximize the impact of your article after publication, and you want to evaluate your publication decisions and show to others that the articles had a wider impact of some sort. And as a reader, the reader wants to find relevant articles using this ALM data. They want to search and filter using that data. They want to gain insight into what others have thought about the articles so they don't repeat mistakes, that kind of thing. And they want to see how significant any given article is. So those are the 2 use cases we apply. And these are the data types that we capture. Existing and then planned additions is stuff that we're working on right now. So at the moment, we calculate all our own usage. We also bring in PubMed Central usage. We allow comments, notes, and ratings from our users on the site. We collect citations from PubMed Central, Scopus, Crossref, and Web of Science. Crossref, we actually store all that data locally, and Web of Science, we don't put that into the ArticleLevel Metrics dataset that goes public because there's a restriction from Scopus on that, but we can at least display it on the article. We have trackbacks. We have Nothing Good that gives us media coverage. We have Nothing Good anymore that gives us blog coverage. Post-genomic used to be really good for that, but that got sunsetted or killed by nature, I think. And that was a shame because that one did actually work quite well. And right now we're scrambling around to find other sources for blog coverage. And then sort of the social behavioral mining, which is sort of a grab bag bucket, is Site You Like bookmarks. Social bookmarks in Site You Like are very good. There's a lot of them. There's not many on Conatea. And we're looking to add things like tweets and Facebook likes and Mendeley groups, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to show you some of this in action. So ALM's on a PLOS article. So this is an article, Ordering Spontaneous Behavior. And I've queued up all the screens because my internet wasn't working very well. So I'm not going to attempt to do much of this in the live internet. So, but if you were to click on this metrics tab, you'd get to this screen. And this is where we put all our article level metrics. So it starts off with the usage. There's some little widgets on the right that summarize some of the information. But as you scroll down, here's all the links to the citations, the star ratings, comments and notes, bookmarks, blog coverage, and trackbacks. So, for example, if you were to click on Crossref, the 16 here, that shows we have 16 citations as measured by Crossref. And this is the page you would get. We store these locally because we're a Crossref member, and we can link straight out to those articles. If you were to click on PubMed Central, this is what you get. You go to the PubMed Central citation page, and again, it's a summary page that a user can use. The Scopus link takes you to a rather nice preview page that Scopus provides. So even if you're a non-subscriber, you can see this page, and I think you can see the first X number of, here we go, first 20 citations, and then you get a challenge to actually subscribe. And Web of Science has the similar functionality, actually. If we go back to this, so that's how the citations work. Star ratings, so we allow star ratings in 3 different categories on a 5-star rating, and typically everyone rates it 5 stars or 1 star, and it's pretty badly used, to be honest. The star ratings are not our finest moment. but we do have some star ratings. This is the page of comments. So comments are a comment on an entire article. We also allow notes on a sort of subset of an article, a phrase or a word, and they can form discussion threads just as you'd expect. Site you like, so this is the number of site you like bookmarks, which here says there's 4. So 4 site you like users have bookmarked this article, and there are the 4 users, and you can get some information about the metadata tags that they've put on, you know, the phrases they've used to bookmark it themselves. And then research blogging, this is pretty much the only source we have right now for whether or not the article's been blogged about. So this is research blogging, which collects together blogs about academic content, and they found 2, which are actually both by the author of the article itself, Bjorn Brems. You might want to get a different picture, I think. But the thing with research blogging actually is its API is very slow to return data. So again, we don't have a great source there. And what else do we have here? So that's the basic display of article level metrics on an article. And then I wanted to show it on the Biodiversity Hub, which is interesting. So we have another product, which is the PLOS Biodiversity Hub, which goes out and attempts to collate open access articles on the topic of biodiversity and bring them and collect them together. So we include non-PLOS content here. And I can show you here. Here is an article published by MedCentral. And because it's in the Biodiversity Hub and using our ArticleLevel Metrics app, we've been able to display on here the number of citations, Scopus and Web of Science, and also we count the views in that hub. And that all goes into the ArticleLevel Metrics app as well. I also wanted to talk about ArticleLevel Metrics as part of navigation and search. So this is quite cool, actually. So if you're on our homepage and you just search for cancer, for instance, here, you get to a page that looks like this, and here's all the articles about cancer. We have a rather nice faceted search. But within the search, you can sort the results by most views. So most views last 30 days, for instance, and most views of all time. And this is actually working on the internet reasonably well. So then if you hover over here, these as well, so views, that shows you the breakout of the views, citations, and whether it's bookmarked. So the article level metrics data is being brought into our advanced search functionality and redisplayed to the user and used for navigation and filtering and browse. And very soon we're going to allow the advanced search to filter by the citations and the bookmarks as well. So this is a marketing site that we put together for the article level metrics. This is just a little sort of single theme site that gives users information about it. But additionally, we now have an open API on the site. So this is the API site for the PLOS ALM app. And we've taken part in the Mendeley binary battle. So it became the Mendeley PLOS binary battle, and people have been using our API to build new products and services. And so a couple of those, we're going to see one in a minute, actually, Total Impact from Jason Priem. But in addition, we have Science Card, which has been written by Martin Fenner. That's an entry in that competition. And Science Card is interesting because our own implementation of ALMs is around the article, but Science Card has sort of wrapped it around the person. So you go to this site, sign up as a person, and here's that author again, Bjorn Brems, and Science Card goes out and finds a lot of the stuff that PLOS is finding, but also additional stuff. They're finding Mendeley groups and so on. And they bring it together into one page, which is a sort of scorecard for the author, which is rather interesting. And then there's that article we were looking at just before. And here's the 4 cite you like citations, but now, or bookmarks, and there's 78 Mendeley users using it. There's the usage and so on. And then if you click through to an article, this site again, here's one I prepared earlier, just shows you the data for the specific article. And another one that's been built using our API is Altmetric. This is by Ewan Adey, who's part of Digital Science, super smart guy. And he's built this again, building off of our own API and incorporating his own functionality. But here, for instance, is the 2,186 +1 articles he's managed to track over the last 3 months and showing various sort of altmetrics with a little score. So he's found that this article has been tweeted 175 times. It's on 9 Facebook pages, on 9 Google Plus posts, Reddited, blogged, and so on. So the interesting thing there is I think that the The ALM app, because of the API, is extensible. We use it on our site, but others are now using it on their sites and for articles that are no longer just PLOS articles. And so I think that's rather cool. And I think I've got a couple of minutes for, I wanted to just talk about the weaknesses. Here we go. So I've got a few seconds. So the weaknesses of this program, I think, in my understanding, is there's a general understanding of the definition of article level metrics. A lot of publishers are throwing around the fact that they have ALMs, but really they're just talking about usage. We take it to mean usage, citations, blog posts, and so on. Academia don't understand these non-traditional metrics. We have real problems finding anything when it's not referenced properly on the internet. There's no DOI link, or even the article itself isn't mentioned. It just says a study, something like that. And because we're relying a lot on data that comes from third parties, we have all sorts of problems there. Services die, they fail to respond, the API is too slow, or they have restrictions on how we can reuse their data. There's no standards. Even the standard we use for usage, which is Counter 3, is a standard designed for journals, not for articles. And there's no open data sets that we can use. So there are real weaknesses with this program, but we think we're onto something, and it's definitely a selling point for our platform and our content, I think. So, thank you.